Some of the most kind of iconic wholesale markets in London, which are owned by the City of London Corporation, been suggested previously that if they are to have a long-term future, they really do need to come together in one kind of area, one building, effectively, and obviously limited in London where you could find the space for that. What the Barking and Dagenham Post is saying is that Barking and Dagenham could be the host borough for this new kind of integrated market. This is Billingsgate, Smithfields and New Spitalfields. They've been identified along with 4 other boroughs, Newham, Redbridge, Waltham Forest and Thurrock, right out in Essex. But the City of London Corporation did buy a site in Dagenham at the end of last year, just off the A13. So it all would seem to point to Dagenham being the base.
Right, let's move on to the East London and West Essex Guardian. This is an interesting story. It's quite complicated, and that's something that I think most people, when this arrives through their door, if they're in this area, wouldn't think twice about.
Yeah, absolutely. We have mentioned it before, but quite a while back, and it's an ongoing thing. Basically, a lot of councils in this country took a while back to publishing their own newspapers because they bring money from through advertising, and they would save money because they have to put notices in newspapers for things like planning applications. If they have their own newspaper, they can print them themselves and save money. The government saw this as an attack on the local press, which is being starved of that cash, and also it was an attack on democracy, because obviously these newspapers tend not to run negative stories about what's going on in the council and its services. So they said that they could do this only 4 times a year. There are 3 councils in East London. They're the only councils in the country doing this, who are continuing to stand in the face of the law and publish every 2 weeks. Waltham Forest is one of these. The Guardian saying it's making nearly £145,000 in profit on its illegal newspaper. What the council is saying is that they believe Waltham Forest News, which is the name of their newspaper, provides residents with reliable coverage of local news, information and events. Full disclosure, I work for Archant, you said at the start, we published local newspapers in these areas. But I think there is a wider point here that it is an attack on local newspapers who do hold these authorities to account. And these newspapers that the councils put out, they look and feel and smell like newspapers, and a lot of people might not realise they're coming directly from the council.
So a serious issue, certainly, for the local papers in those areas. Right, let's move on. Now, this is one which is kind of, it's prime material for the local radio debate, this, isn't it? Is it street art? Is it graffiti?
Yeah.
It looks like some guidelines have been set out to determine which is which.
Finally. This is an East London advertiser, Tower Hamlets Council, which is an area with a lot of both street art and graffiti, is putting a new policy in place to decide which is which, because one man's beautiful mural is another woman's scrawl on a wall, isn't it? So what they want to do is speed up removing what they say here is unsightly daubings while protecting renowned mural art. So they want to kind of balance the impact of tagging graffiti, which is basically somebody just scrawling their name.